Hello, everyone. Welcome to Barca News. It is February 22nd, 2025, and Barcelona are still on the top of La Liga table after defeating Las Palmas 0-2. This is the post-match live analysis. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the channel. My name is Mo, and this is the post-match live analysis where we analyze Barcelona matches as soon as they end, and where I also get to interact with you lovely people in the chat section by reading your comments, answering your questions, and getting a discussion going. This is not to be confused with the Barca News podcast, which is where we discuss Barcelona news, and of course, where I get to also interact with you lovely people in the chat section. Having said all that, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment if you are looking for any Barcelona jerseys or merchandise. Make sure to Goal Kids, Get Back, or Fanatics. If you are looking to place any sports bets, make sure to bet us. All links are down below in the description. You click on them, you get access to some pretty cool deals and offers. All right, let's start with the live or the post-match analysis because, ladies and gentlemen, Barcelona defeated Las Palmas today 0-2 in Gran Canaria. So this was an away match for Barcelona. And with this victory, Barcelona retained their top spot on La Liga, or retained the number one spot on La Liga table. And what was a very difficult match. A very difficult match for Barcelona, but more importantly, really not a good match by Barcelona either. I did not like how the team played at all. And when I say that it wasn't a good game for Barcelona, of course, I'm speaking relatively speaking, because we've seen what this Barcelona is capable of under Hansi Flick, and to then see them play the way they played today, I did not like it. But nonetheless, it was an important victory. We needed to win this match to stay on top. We needed these 3 points to stay on top. So I'm happy about the win. Not so much happy, or not too happy about how the team played. Now, the first half, I think it was absolutely disastrous. It was reminiscent of the same Barcelona that lost during the first half of the season, against Las Palmas. The same Barcelona that lost drop points against Leganés. The same Barcelona that dropped points against Real Sociedad, against Celta Vigo. A Barcelona that came out first half completely asleep at the wheel, making very slow passes. Nobody was getting open. Everybody was incredibly static. And of course, that was not going to work. We know how well Las Palmas are organized in the back. We know how well they defend. We know how well they cover the entire area and don't leave any spaces. And knowing that, instead of seeing the players, running around trying to get open, let me go right, let me then switch real quick, go left, maybe fake it the right, maybe go left. Like, instead of seeing the players running around trying to get open in order to receive a pass, the whole team was just static. They would just stand there waiting for the ball to get to their feet. And of course, that was not going to create anything, because all Las Palmas had to do is just sit still in their final third, and then just let Barcelona, waste time. And then not only can Barcelona not create any chances because the players were not getting open and they were very static, but also that led to a lot of ball losses because since the players were just stand there waiting for the ball to get to their feet, Las Palmas defenders would anticipate that, cut the pass, and then they would mount a counterattack. And the whole first half was just absolutely disastrous, where Las Palmas came a lot closer to scoring goals than Barcelona ever did in the entire first 45 minutes. Now, came the halftime. Hansi Flick made an important substitution. Fermín López came out, which was not having a good game. He wasn't having much impact on the match. Dani Olmo came in. And at the beginning of the second half, we saw a little bit of what we saw during the first half, but better. We saw the players at least with more intensity, trying to move the ball a little bit quicker, trying to get open a little bit more than what they did in the first half. And then came the goal by Dani Olmo, which was an absolutely beautiful goal. It all started with Lamine Yamal's incredible run, dribbling players, making a millimetric pass to Dani Olmo. And Dani Olmo, in the tiny, tiny space that he had, he fakes going out. He cuts into the inside with his right leg, shoots with the left leg, puts it at top, almost misses. But nonetheless, it was a beautiful, beautiful goal by Dani Olmo. The fact that he was able to do all of that in that very tiny space that he had defenders on him. It's not like Lamine Yamal passed on the ball and he was by himself. He had defenders on him and he was able to do that. Incredible goal by Dani Olmo. And this is why I say this was an important or key substitution, because not only gave Barcelona the 0-1, but after that we saw Las Palmas, of course, advance their lines, trying to tie the match, which created a lot more spaces in the back for Barcelona. And then in the final 20 minutes, we saw a dangerous Barcelona that was actually creating chances, a Barcelona that was a little bit more reminiscent of the good Barcelona versus the bad Barcelona that drops points. And of course, that led to the second goal, which was by Ferran Torres. Again, Las Palmas at that point, they were just completely defeated. And Rafinha, beautiful pass to Ferran Torres. The way Ferran controls, turns around, hits the ball with everything he got. A goal, which, funny enough, Ferran Torres, another sub. So today, Barcelona was saved by its subs. You know, first goal by Dani Olmo, and then second goal by Ferran Torres. So important victory, but of course, we do have to talk about one thing, and that is the that controversial play, which should not have been controversial, which is it looked like a handball by Eric Garcia. And the reason I bring this up is because, again, this was the right call, don't get me wrong, but I bring it up because this highlights once again the incompetence of Spanish refereeing and how bad these referees are, because the fact that it took, 8-10 minutes to figure out that this was offside. I mean, look at the image. You telling me you need to analyze this for 8-10 minutes? You telling me you need the ref to go all the way to the VAR screen to realize that there is not one, but 2, 3, 4 Las Palmas players who are offside? And by the way, offsides is not something that the referee needs to interpret. You don't call the referee to the VAR screen to see whether it's offside or not. It's supposed to be semi-automatic. There's supposed to be a computer that draws the line, and then the computer determines whether the players are offside or not, which, again, just look at them. They're all offside. Why did it take 8 to 10 minutes? But more importantly, why did this piece of shit, Carlos del Cerro Grande, who always has a hard out for Barcelona, he was the VAR referee, why is it that when he calls the referee on the field and the referee on the field goes to the VAR screen, this guy shows them the Eric Garcia handball over and over again, slow motion, different angles, shows it to him 4 to 5 times as like, look, it's a handball, it's a penalty. Yes, we know it's a handball, but guess what? It doesn't count because there were 4 players who were offside. And setting the offside aside, the Las Palmas player who kicks the ball stops the ball with his own hand. So there's an offside before that. There's a handball before that. Then there's Eric Garcia's handball. But yet, Del Cerro Grande decides to show the handball to the referee over and over again in slow motion, different angles. And it's like, what are you doing? Why are you even showing them that? Why don't you start at the beginning of the sequence, which if you did, the referee would have saw in the offside. It said nothing that came after that, it even matters. Or hell, show them the next sequence. A handball by Las Palmas players. It's still, Eric Garcia's handball doesn't matter. But no, he goes straight to the handball of Eric Garcia, shows him a bunch of times, kind of like, I don't know if he was doing that on purpose, if he was trying to persuade him, like, look, there is a penalty here. But this just highlights the total incompetence of referees in La Liga, where it takes them 8 to 10 minutes to figure out there's a clear as day offside. And then where this guy just decides to go show him the handball when there's 2 sequences before that nullified that handball to begin with. But anyways, again, overall, not a good match by Barcelona, but very important victory. 3 very important points in order to keep us at the top of the league. And let's look at the formation real quick, or at the squad list that Hansi Flick decided to choose, because there were some changes. Wojciech Szczesny, of course, still on goal. We had Jules Koundé and Balde, our 2 fullbacks. And then we saw Cubarsí and Eric Garcia. So very interesting choice there. Eric Garcia starting ahead of Íñigo and Ronald Araujo. I'm not sure if this was maybe a tactic by Hansi Flick to rest Íñigo or Araujo, whichever he's going to use. Because let's not forget, Tuesday, we have a match against Atletico Madrid in the semifinals of the Copa del Rey. So this could have been a tactic to rest whoever Hansi Flick is thinking of starting, whether it would be Íñigo or Ronald Araujo. So Eric Garcia starting ahead of those 2. And then in the midfield, we saw Marc Casado back again next to Pedri. Again, this could be a tactic where Hansi maybe was trying to rest Frankie de Jong for that match. We don't know. We'll find out more on Tuesday once we play that semifinal. And then Lamine Yamal, Fermín López, Rafinha, and of course up front, Robert Lewandowski. Fermin Lopez, unfortunately, was not a good match for him, but it wasn't really his fault. It was just Las Palmas were defending really, really well. And of course, again, our team was just not doing it. They came out with asleep at the wheel with no intensity, slow passes, nobody getting open. So that was an important substitution. Rafinha, Lewandowski, not really good matches. Of course, Rafinha having a little bit of better match than Lewandowski. Lewandowski hardly touched the ball. And a few times that he did, he missed. Rafinha today, not a good match for him either, just like the same way Rafinha, Lewandowski didn't have good matches against Rayo Vallecano. And then, of course, Lamine Yamal, for me, the MVP of the match. He was an absolute beast today. He was the only one who was creating any kind of chances. He was the only one who was really creating any kind of danger with his dribbling, just being an absolute nightmare to Las Palmas defenders. He does need to work on his finishing, but he's only 17 years old. You know, you can't expect a 17-year-old to, first of all, you shouldn't be expecting him to play the way he does, and he already does. And then, you know, his finishing, that will just come with time, with experience. He does need to work a little bit on his finishing, but he was the most prolific player on the field today. The only one that was giving Barcelona something different that was helping the team, you know, stay in this game. Pau Cubarsí, another immaculate match by him. I mean, there was so many saves, last-second saves that Pau Cubarsí did today that could have easily ended in goal. And not only that, he makes it look so effortless. I mean, you'll see the opponent with the ball about to shoot it. You're like, it's over. This is goal. And then Pau Cubarsí appears out of nowhere, blocks it, and he makes it look like he's out on a jog on a Sunday with his dog at the park. Like, he makes it look so effortless. Great match by Pau Cubarsí. Lamine Yamal, again, for me, the MVP. And, of course, Dani Olmo and Ferran Torres with the goals. Now, this is how the table currently looks like, because today we did lose the top spot for briefly. I think it was like for about an hour. But this is what the table currently looks like. Of course, Barcelona still on top now with 54 points. Atletico Madrid in second place with 53 points because Atletico Madrid won their match earlier today. They played against Valencia. I think the score was 3-0, if I'm not mistaken. So Atletico Madrid briefly claimed the top spot after they won against Valencia. Of course, then Barcelona played and we reclaimed our top spot. And Real Madrid in third place right now with 51 points. But of course, Real Madrid do have to play a match tomorrow, which will be against Girona. Let's hope they drop some points because if they do, then they'll stay in third place. If they don't, they'll jump to second place, tied with Barcelona on points if they win. And of course, if they draw, then they will still in stay in third place as well. So very important victory. It was very important victory. We needed this victory. Otherwise, well, you know, we risked dropping all the way down to third. So important victory, 3 very important points. Did not like how the team played. And what's concerning about how the team played during the first half is that they knew they needed to win this. They knew that in order to stay on top, we cannot drop any points right now, given how close it is. But yet they came out half asleep during the first half. And that's a little bit concerning to me. But again, I'm not going to, you know, beat around the bush or keep talking about it or beat a dead horse. We won. We got 3 very important points. We're still on top, regardless of what happens tomorrow with Real Madrid. So let's celebrate that. And then let's start with the chat section. And Texas Transplant with the incredibly generous donation. Thank you, my friend, for your extreme generosity time and time again. But Texas Transplant says, happy for the win. Just have to get this off my chest, though. I'm all for the extra pass to get the keeper off their game. However, when you have an open shot on goal, take it. I'm talking to you, Mr. Fermin Lopez Vizca Barca. I agree 100%. That's the first thing I said. I was like, why the hell did he kick it? If you guys, if there's anyone who don't know what we're talking about, this was during the first half. Deep pass to Fermin Lopez from Pedri. If I'm not mistaken, it was Pedri that makes a deep pass to Fermin Lopez. Fermin Lopez by himself. No defenders around him, in front of goal. Goalkeeper is out of position. The goalkeeper was all the way to his right. Fermin Lopez is all the way on the left side of the goal, or the goalie's left side of the goal. And he could have taken that shot, and that would have been goal. The defenders weren't there. The goalkeeper wasn't there. The goal was practically empty. But instead, he decides to cross it into Lewandowski. And not only he decides to cross it into Lewandowski, but it was actually a bad cross too, because it ends up being behind Lewandowski. Lewandowski stretches his leg out to try to like bring it in, but you know, there was not much he could do. So I agree 100% with you. Sometimes these players, I think they are too generous. It's good to be generous and not be a ball hog, but sometimes you have to take the shot. You don't always have to be generous. If you have an open goal, an open shot, just take it. Just take it. Like Lewandowski had 3 players on him. He had 3 defenders on him. Meanwhile, Fermin had nobody, and he decides to pass it to the guy who has 3 defenders when he didn't have anyone on him. I didn't understand that whatsoever, but everybody makes mistakes. Aaron says we always get hard time when we playing against small team, but I'm so happy we collected the 3 important points. Vamos, Vizca Barça, 2024, 2025 Champions League winners. Here we go. Let's calm down. Well, yes, I'm very happy, Vizca Barça, but we still got a long road ahead of us. Let's not start counting our chickens before they've hatched. Let's see. Besuficat says, hey, Mo, lately the team isn't playing well as they should. It's making me worry against Atleti. Any thoughts? I've noticed that too. We won against Rayo, and I didn't like how we played. We won today, and I didn't like how we played. And even the last 2 matches in the Champions League. So I don't know. I hope this is just Las Palmas making it difficult for us, and Rayo, because Rayo is a really good team this season. So maybe that's just Las Palmas and Rayo making it very difficult for us. We'll see. I mean, I trust this team that is more than capable of beating Atletico Madrid. I mean, even when we lost in December against them, we played a million times better. We were just unlucky. And that happens in football. Sometimes you play better, you generate more chances, you create more danger, but the ball just doesn't want to go in, and that happened to us in December. So I think if we repeat the same performance that we did against Atletico Madrid in December, I think we should be able to win on Tuesday, because if you run that same match 10 times, 9 out of 10 times, we win. But we happen to lose because, again, we were unlucky. So I think if we played the same way we did in December, I'm confident we can beat Atletico Madrid. The Jeff says that performance was pathetic as the last one. I'm starting to lose confidence going forward in the Champions League and the league if we keep playing that way. I mean, hopefully that's the thing, right? We've seen that this Barcelona, there's no middle with them. This is either a Barca who is an absolute thrashing machine that can score 5, 6, 7-0 against anyone, or it's a Barca that struggles a lot. There's no middle ground here. And I think this just has to do with the fact that it's a new team, well, new team, new project, new coach, and maintaining high level comes with time and experience. So I think that's why we either see an incredible Barca or a mediocre Barca. There's no middle ground. I think that will come with time, but overall, we've had a lot more great matches than bad ones. So I don't necessarily want to say I'm too worried, but it is a concern to keep on mind. Raul says, a fully fit Olmo is the best cam in the world. I'll always say it. His technical brilliance and fundamental techniques, especially in tight spaces, are unparalleled. His only problem is his health. He is very good. I don't know about the best in the world, but he is definitely, top 5 at least. But yeah, the problem is that his health. But as I reported in yesterday's video, he has undergone genetic testing. And then he has met with the trainers in Barcelona to come up with a specific tailored plan with him. You might remember this from Pedri, right? Pedri was constantly suffering injuries in the last, 2 seasons. He underwent genetic testing. They took a sample of his muscle tissue. They sent it to a lab in the US, in Maryland, to be more specific. They did a full genetic analysis of his body structure, his muscular structure, his bones, ligaments, everything. And then based on that study, Julio Toz, who for me has been the best signing after Hansi Flick, he's the guy in charge of the fitness of the team. He was able to come up with a specific plan for Pedri that encompassed everything based on the test results. I mean, we're talking about sleep patterns, what time to sleep, how long to sleep, what kind of food he should eat, and what quantities at what time, water consumption, stretching exercises, lifting exercise. I mean, they came up with this whole plan for Pedri, and look at Pedri. He's been an absolute beast this season. And Dani Olmo just underwent the same exact testing, and he just met with Julio Toz this past week where they went over the results, and they're also going to tailor a specific plan for him. So who knows? We might see Dani Olmo that's going to be healthy like Pedri is, because, I mean, we've seen a few times that Olmo has played for Barcelona. He's been like game-changing. But the problem is that he's also missed the other half. So if we can have a fully fit Olmo that can play every match, we're in for some good times. Curtis says, Mo, I think we have to be realistic. Playing against teams that play so deep and compact is hard for any team to play against. We have to win ugly sometimes. Yes, of course, absolutely. But here's the thing. There's a difference between winning ugly and there's a difference between not even trying. And I say that because during the first half, this team looked like they weren't even trying. I mean, the slow passes, the jogging around. I mean, Kunde almost lost the ball. I was right outside the box because he was just like, it's okay. It's Sunday. I'm just out for a little stroll, a little jog. Nobody was getting open. Everybody's just static, standing there waiting for the ball to get to their feet. That's what I mean. So there's difference between like, oh, you're trying your best, you're running, you're doing everything you can, you're trying to move the ball quick, you're trying to create chances, you're trying to get open, you're doing everything you can, but you're still struggling because the other team is making it tough versus I'm just jogging around and just waiting for the ball to get to my feet. There's two different things. But I agree. You're not always going to steamroll teams. You're not always going to win 5, 6, 7 zeros. The fact that we've won so many matches by that many goals is an anomaly. Like it's pretty incredible. But the first half was just disastrous. You cannot have a team that knows they need the win, that knows every match from now until the end of the season is going to be a final, and just to come out with that such low intensity during the first half, that's just not okay. Tizan says, hello, Mo. What is your opinion on Lamine Yamal being a little bit selfish recently? Could remember ever since he was interviewed saying that he wants to score a lot of goals. It has to do with that Hansi Flick sat down with him and was like, I want you to try more. Because before, Lamine was actually having the other problem, right? He was constantly passing. And a lot of times he would have open shots that he wouldn't take because he was always trying to assist. So Flick was like, look, he sat him down and was like, I need you to start taking shots. I need you to start, trusting yourself that you can score. But I guess, you can't win, right? If you pass it, why is he passing it? If he's shooting it, why is he shooting it? Aziz says, Rafinha penalty shout looked credible. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Rafinha's growing, running into the box full speed. The ball is coming to him. Las Palmas defender grabs him from the arm, pulls him back, makes Rafinha turn around and fall. That doesn't even get reviewed. Like nothing. But then a clear offside, where there's 4 Las Palmas defenders clearly offside, that gets reviewed for 8 minutes. I mean, what is going on? Like, these referees are just so incompetent. Karam says, guys, I want to know that Barcelona match. Who is the player of the match? Please kindly reply me. I am waiting for your answer. I think officially, if I'm not mistaken, it was Dani Olmo. But to me, I think it was Lamine. He was just the one. It was just a headache for Las Palmas defenders. Sulaiman says, the only positive thing from the last 2 games are the 6 most needed points. The team didn't play well at all. Yeah, I wasn't happy with the performances. Let's hope we got that out of the way, and then we can go back to being, a solid team. Mike says, Hansi Flick is a masterclass coach. The way he speaks, mentality, decision-making. Yes, he isn't perfect, but I hope Barcelona fully invest in Hansi, just like Klopp did for Liverpool. I agree 100%. Unfortunately, Hansi Flick has said he doesn't see himself, being like a dynasty coach, a coach that's going to be here for the next 10, 20 years because he is older. I think he's 60-something, if I'm not mistaken. And, he said eventually he wants to, retire, spend time with his grandkids, his family. So I would love for him to stay. I would have loved for Pep Guardiola to be our Sir Alex Ferguson. I would love for Pep to have been at Barca for 10, 20 years. But we all know how that went with Bartomeu. Well, Rosé and Bartomeu kicking him out. It would be nice to see Flick, staying for a while, but it looks like, eventually he wants to spend time with his family. Street Fighter says, we did not play well, but we have to remember the last time we play at Las Palmas, it is an improvement. If we don't not play well, we should get the result. I thought we played just the same thing as the first time, but this time we actually got the goals. So I don't know if it was necessarily an improvement. I think the only proving thing is that we won, but not necessarily the performance. And Yomi Dara says, Mo, like you always said, winning these types of games is needed to win the league. Might be rough, but it's still a win. Absolutely. I think leagues are won during these matches. You have to win these matches because there's more. You have to win against small teams because there's more small teams than big ones, right? You could beat Madrid twice at home and away by total thrashings, 10-0 each, and beat Atletico Madrid twice by total thrashings, 10 goals each. But that's just four wins. And there's 38 matches total. So yeah, you get 4 out of 36 wins, and you're not winning shit. You might even get relegated if you just win those 4 matches and lose the other 34. Sorry, 34 because it's 38 matches total. So yes, these matches are very important. You have to win these kind of matches because there's more of these matches than there are the big tough matches against the top clubs, right? But again, my problem is not that we won, but it wasn't a pretty win. My problem is that the first half, the players knew this was like a final, and they came out asleep at the wheel, and that's just not okay. If you know you have to win, you come out with the desire to win, and they didn't look like they were. Second half, different story. First half, they just looked half asleep. And again, I'm not complaining about that we won ugly. There's going to be plenty of times that when I win ugly, but at least try. Don't just go out, sleep at the wheel. That's my problem with today's win. Anyways, that is all, ladies and gentlemen. 3 very important points, 3 very important victory. We're still on the top of the table, at least until next week, because no matter what happens tomorrow with Madrid, we're still at the top, still number 1 spot. So very important victory, 3 very important points. Let's celebrate this victory. And then, of course, Tuesday, we have the semifinal, the first leg of the semifinal of the Copa del Rey. I will be publishing or uploading, not publishing. I will be uploading one more video after this because there is news we need to discuss. So we'll see you guys in that video. And as always, Visca Barça.